Alrighty, off we go. Good evening, everyone. It is 6 o'clock on August 19th, 2025, and we will call this regular meeting of the Township Board of the Charter Township of Meridian to order. First on our agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Will those who are able please rise and join us for the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next on our agenda is item 3, roll call. Will Clerk Demas please call the roll?
Supervisor Hendrickson.
Here.
Clerk Demas here. Treasurer DeShane.
Here.
Trustee Lentz.
Here.
Trustee Trezise.
Here.
Trustee Wilson.
Here.
Trustee Sunland.
Here.
All board members present.
Thank you very much. Next on our agenda is item 4A, presentations. We have one presentation this evening from Food Rescue US. We have Val Lafferty. Welcome, Val.
Yeah, thank you very much. I had the opportunity to present to the Environmental Commission a couple months ago, so some of you may be sitting through this twice. But I appreciate this opportunity. So we've been around for 2 years. We're an outgrowth of the group that started the Gleaning at the Market, and also we helped ramp up the food scrap collection at the market. And so some of us wanted to do rescue year-round, and we affiliated with this national nonprofit, which uses an app. And basically, we have volunteers who sign up with us. We currently have 110 around the community. And they pick up food from commercial donors and directly deliver to receiving agencies so that, you know, it stays fresh, and they're custom made to, not custom made, but we organize the rescues according to the receiving agency, how much cooling they have, their hours of operation, and that sort of thing. Marna is one of our receiving agencies at First Pres. And so it's fresh food. Everybody's very conscious about over-processed food. And a lot of people in Lansing have difficulty getting fresh food. So this is a wonderful way to address that. Is it down here? Oh, yeah. And you're probably already aware of the amount of waste of food going on and the wasted resources. Won't spend long on that. Also, I'm sure you're aware of hunger, and it's growing. Since COVID, it's been going up and up. We have more agencies that are reaching out to us. We currently do 40 agencies. They're pantries or community kitchens or shelter facilities, or even groups like Mid-Michigan Recovery Services. And we recently started a rescue with Head Start so that they can get it deep within the community via their professionals that work with different clients, in the state. We are Serve Safe certified, and by far we do produce more than anything, but also dairy, baked goods, meats, and prepared foods. The donors are, if we can get grocery stores, those are golden. It's a wonderful selection of food. We currently do all the Target grocery stores, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, a couple of the Walmart stores, and D&W recently with us. And then we have some restaurants and so forth, but we need more food because there's more demand for it. And the app that we have is really great for volunteers, because a lot of people who are retired don't want to, they want to be free to do what they want to do, but they want to do something meaningful as well. So they can look at the app, and if they're in town for that week, select an open rescue. What they get is all the information, where to pick up, where to drop off. More than 60% of our volunteers are adopters, meaning they want the route all the time until they release it, because they have to go somewhere else. They can release it 1 week at a time. And the big takeaway really is how wonderful these volunteers are, how reliable they are. They get a lot of meaning from it. I don't think most of us have the opportunity to meet the commercial side as well as the nonprofit side. So they're really, to me, they're really creating community. And also we know from people telling us how to change the food cycle to make it a healthy cycle. It's going to be one at a time, not people telling other people what they should do. So with the 110 volunteers, I think they're like pollinators out there that are carrying this message to their friends and neighbors and that sort of thing. So it's, it's just valuable on a number of accounts. So that's it. We pick up, it's real simple. Like I said, we're all volunteers. Pick up from food donors, directly deliver. Most of our receiving agencies are in Lansing. It's usually 15 minutes to get there. Recently, we do last-minute rescues. We do scheduled rescues, weekends. We have a lot of weekend rescues, holidays. It's not a problem because the volunteers want to do it. I don't know, what did I do? I went in the wrong direction. I guess that's pretty much it, the points I wanted to make. And we're working with the Tri-County area on their material management plans, because we are a source reducer. I mean, we're already doing it anyway, but if they wanted to think of us as their source reducer in the plan, and we've never missed a rescue, then we're kind of infrastructure, I think. And when you look at the studies of states that have changed laws that said commercial food people don't waste, they haven't been very successful because the infrastructure is not created. So this is a piece that, you can think of as doing that. I mean, there's lots of people who are rescuing food in different ways, but I think we're the only one that get it out that's perishable and get it out in small enough quantities so it can be used during that week. And so in total, it just builds a healthier community. This is just a list. You'll have this, our donors and our receiving agencies. Our app also keeps track of a whole lot of information if people are interested in it, in reaching their sustainability goals or whatever. This happens to be just a snapshot in time that shows the typical makeup. It was probably for a month of what kind of food, and you can see the green is produce, so it's mostly fresh produce, and it's always in good shape. We've had, this is at the end of August, but those are kind of the stats that we can use. There's a carbon offset amount, there's a water saved amount, and so there's just a lot of community work in it, and that's it. I hope I stayed within my time frame.
Thank you.
Is there any questions? Or?
Yes, board members, do you have any questions? Trustee Lentz.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for being here today. I actually worked for the Greater Lansing Food Bank for about 4 years at a time before this, and I know that they've been doing gleaning similar to what you're describing. I'm curious, do you guys have a central hub that you bring donations back to and then go out, or do you go straight from one?
Yeah, no, that's exactly why we're different from the Greater Lansing Food Bank. We own nothing at all. There's no buildings. There's, it's because it's a direct delivery so they can get it quickly and use it. And I think that the biggest problem for rescuing perishable foods is you need to have the logistics in place first, so you know where to get it and who's going to be able to use it right away. So that's what this app does in this whole system. So it just works really nicely, and it's budget friendly and all that. So
I cared about food insecurity for my entire professional life, as I know Marna on the board does as well. So appreciate you working in a logistics space that, like you said, the food bank maybe is a bit too large to take some of those things and take them to mini pantries, and so I think that's great, so thank you.
Yeah, we definitely get the smaller ones in smaller amounts. They do a wonderful job. They obviously do lots of food, and their garden project is amazing, so.
Million pounds a year
a lot
grown,
of
that's
programs
pretty
are
great.
very innovative,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Other board members, any questions? Trustee Wilson.
I'd just like to comment that this is a critical lifeline for food pantries such as the one I work at in downtown Lansing. We've been working with you for probably close to 18 months now.
Yeah.
You come, our volunteer comes every Sunday, and someone leaves, comes out of the church service and meets them and puts things away. And we are being further and further strapped for resources. It's going to be really rough when SNAP benefits end here very soon. And this is just one critical piece of food delivery that aids agencies like our food pantry downtown in Lansing. So thank you, Val, and thank you to all your volunteers.
Well, you're welcome. I might say that we also rescue from schools too. And so Hazlitt and Okemos have been wonderful. So there's wasted food going on all the time because they just can't get to it in time. So part of what we're doing here is try to, I guess, elevate the relationship so that it might attract more food donors. So they might think of us instead of, just saying, oh, that stuff's got to get out because it's rotten now. They could have called us maybe 2 days ago and we could have gotten it out. So I'm sorry.
Trustee Trezise.
Yeah, I assume like any other volunteer agency, you need more volunteers.
Yeah,
How does someone contact you to volunteer?
Yeah, so we have the national app, and so people go on there, and if they're interested, they put a little bit of information, and then if they're in our zip code area, then we get that, and we call them right away. They also get a letter. And the app, I'm told, is very easy to use people can get to it right away. We actually have a fair amount of volunteers. If anything, we get complaints that there's not enough, they're either all taken or not enough, but there's constantly people releasing some. We have maybe 30 regulars scheduled, or maybe 35 definite ones, and then there's stuff that comes up that, we really need 2 cars, or the power went out, can you come and get all our whatever, or, there's always stuff like that. Or we get companies that call us that say, I'm not supposed to, I'm supposed to be throwing this out, but it's really good. Can you come over and get it? And so we do that too. It's employees, a lot of places are sort of scandalized that stuff is being thrown away and call us. They can't find the right pipeline to, or I don't know what the problem is, but we're just delighted to get it. So, yeah.
Treasurer DeShane.
As chair of the Ingham County Materials Management Commission, your group is exactly the kind of group that we need to connect with. We're charged by Eagle with decreasing the amount of landfill and increasing the recyclable, and yours takes that one step further for neither one. It's used as a viable life source for hundreds and hundreds or thousands of residents here in the county, so thank you for your great work.
Yeah, thank you. I presented to the Clinton County or last week maybe, and of course there's a lot of people from Ingham and Eaton. So, and I've got some nice responses back. In fact, Ionia and Shiawassee would like to do it, but I can help them do it and would gladly do it. The app is free for those that do it this way, or you can be a licensee. And if you're already some kind of entity, you can pay for it and then use the app. The app is wonderful. I mean, you're still going to have to build up the volunteers and the donors and the whole thing, but we'd love to expand. There's no doubt about it.
Did a volunteer build your app, or did you get it from another group doing similar work?
No, the reason why we went with it is because, we were not a nonprofit, and so they said, well, if you're not, you can be a flag operation. So I think they have like 27 of them around the state.
Okay.
And that was 2 years ago. And so, so, I mean, I'd gladly build it out, because you have to have all three in order to do it. You have to have volunteers and receiving agencies and donors. And so the circle keeps growing out as you balance it, as you grow. So, or we'd help people, from other counties. But our focus is Tri-County, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you very much. Well,
Thank
board
you.
members, we have this on our consent agenda, a resolution of support
Yes.
for food rescue, so we'll be seeing that in just a few moments.
Good, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is item 5, citizens address agenda items and non-agenda items. There are several opportunities for public comment at tonight's meeting. Members of the public who wish to address our agenda or any item not on our agenda have an opportunity to do so at the beginning of the meeting, now, as well as near the end of the meeting. Those who do wish to address the board must complete one of these white half sheets of paper that you can find on the table by the door and present that to the board or a member of the township staff who will bring that to us. When it's your turn, I'll call you up to the podium to speak to the topics indicated. And while it's not required, it is helpful for the sake of our meeting minutes if you provide your name and address for the record at the beginning of your remarks. Citizens are required to limit comments to 3 minutes. An automated system keeps track of the time and will beep when your time has expired. Members of the board value comment and input from our public. Meeting format and rules, however, restrict board members from engaging in conversation with commenters or answering questions directly. Questions and concerns may be addressed by board members at a later time or be referred to a member of the township staff to follow up on. Please remember to address all comments to the board and/or the board's chair and not to individual board members or others in the audience. With that said, we do have one card here, and that's Beth Bechtel. Good evening.
Hi, Beth Bechtel, Hazlet, Michigan. Dear board members, I already spoke and provided a land parcel suggestion during public comments at last Wednesday's August 13th, 2025 Land Preservation Advisory Board meeting, which I'm sharing with you all during this public comments period. Dear board members and Land Preservation Advisory Board members, I have a land parcel suggestion to be included in the land preservation program. I respectfully ask that you consider designating and placing the Meridian Township centrally owned 25-plus acres land parcel located on Central Park Drive between the Okemos Post Office and the Meridian Township Central Fire Station into the land preservation program. Preserving this township centrally owned 25-plus acres land parcel would include protecting significantly mature trees, forested land, and at least 3 pockets of wetlands that total approximately a half acre or more of wetlands. Preserving this township centrally owned 25-plus acres land parcel would provide much-needed green space in an already densely commercially developed area with the Okemos Post Office to the east, the shopping plaza to the south, the Meridian Township Central Fire Station to the west, and the private townhomes to the north. Preserving and conserving this township's centrally owned 25-plus acre sensitive land parcel would benefit our local environment by protecting wildlife habitats, contributing to cleaner water, and assisting in maintaining the natural ecosystem, which will all enhance and benefit Meridian Township's communities' quality of life. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Would anyone else wish to address the board at this time? Seeing none, public comment is closed at 6:17 PM. Next on our agenda is item 6, Township Manager Report, Manager Dempsey.
Yes, good evening. Just a few items tonight. So just an update, staff continue to work through our budget preparation. So we plan to deliver that here at the end of the month for the board. And then we'll have discussions at our upcoming meetings in September with all of you. So look forward to that. Last Thursday, I was fortunate enough to attend the police award ceremony, well attended by all of the officers and their families. It was great to see their families there. And congratulations to Brian Leroy, who was Officer of the Year for his outstanding service. And there were obviously many other award winners as well. I was remiss to acknowledge at the prior meeting, I had the opportunity, it was the same night as the election. I was out with Chief Grillo on National Night Out. So thanks to all of our public safety, police and fire who went to, I think we had 25 different events across the township in our neighborhood. So it was really neat to see families and children especially get excited, not for my presence, but for the gentlemen and women in uniform who they got really excited about, the fire trucks and the police cars. So that was really great to see. And then congratulations to Timothy T.J. Boones, who retired from the fire department recently after several decades of service. So wish him the best in his next endeavors after serving us faithfully for all those years. We appreciate all the hard work that he put in. So, and that's it for me this evening. Thank you.
Questions for Manager Dempsey? All right, thank you very much. Next on our agenda is board member reports of activities and announcements. Treasurer DeShane.
Thank you. In the packet for a meeting today is my letter resigning as Meridian Township Treasurer effective September 16th, after the summer taxes are completed. My goal from the outset was to complete my service as Township Treasurer through the end of my term in 2028. However, I am not able to remain as Township Treasurer due to some significant health issues I'm being treated for. My medical team has strongly suggested I take a early retirement to help me manage these medical issues. I wish to say to the community and the board, serving Meridian Township over the past decade as Park Commissioner, Township Treasurer, and now Township Trustee, and now Township Treasurer has truly been the highlight of my professional career. I want to humbly thank the board, our 166 hardworking township employees, and most of all, our residents, for your support in my role as a member of the Meridian Township team for the past 10 years. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. We'll certainly, certainly appreciate the many years that, of service that you've provided to the township. You've been an excellent colleague and mentor on this board for many of us, and you will be missed.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Any other board members with reports of activities and announcements? Trustee Trezise.
In my part-time role as HR director for Okemos Schools, we had presentation day from Meridian Fire and Police and trained a lot of our employees in a stop the bleed process. They have provided locally kits to have in all classrooms and offices to address the need should it arise. And I want to thank Chief Grillo for giving one of their important employees to us for the day to provide that training. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Wilson.
Today at Rotary, Police Chief Grillo warned everybody that school starts tomorrow and there are going to be extensive patrols throughout Meridian Township. So keep your speed down and watch out for those little ones, please.
Thank you. Clerk Demas.
Just an election update. The August 5th, 2025 election has been canvassed by the Ingham County Board of Canvassers. I also had the privilege of attending the police awards ceremony last week, and then afterwards, the Lake Lansing Property Owners Association meeting that took place. And then the next democracy class will be on Thursday at 6 p.m. right here in the town hall room. So that's all my updates.
Great. Thank you very much. Any other board members? All right. Seeing none, we'll move on to our next agenda item, which is approval of the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda this evening?
So moved.
Moved by Treasurer Deschênes.
Support.
Supported by Trustee Lentz. Any comments or changes to the agenda? Seeing none, all those in favor of the agenda as presented, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Next on our agenda is the consent agenda. We have a number of items on our consent agenda this evening. Communications, including Treasurer Deschênes' letter of resignation effective September 16th. The minutes from our July 22nd closed session, which you can find at your places, and we ask that you please take a moment to review those before returning them to Clerk Demas. We also have the minutes from our August 7th regular township meeting, the bills, resolution in support of Food Rescue US, Lansing Communities, participation form for the Purdue Direct Settlement, which is our opioid settlement participation form, a contract with Image Trend for Fire RMS, a rescheduling of the public hearing of Plan Unit Development 25012 at 3560 Hewlett Road for Chagier Homes, and a resolution for a charitable gaming license for Fast Pitch Softball Club of Hazlet Incorporated. We have a motion for the consent agenda this evening.
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Wilson, supported by Trustee Trezise. Any discussion on the consent agenda this evening? Trustee Wentz.
Did want to point out that in the resolution related to the Purdue direct settlement, there's a spelling error in there, so ask that be addressed before, by staff. And also just as a person who works directly with a group that does a lot of opioid addiction recovery, it is great to see that Meridian Township is taking their role in using these funds for rebuilding lives and community seriously. I know that not every municipality is following that model, and I think it shows a testament to what our values are and what we care about here. And so, I'm happy to see this before us.
Great. Can you, do you happen to know where the?
I think it's in the word resolution. Let me.
Oh, okay. just so we don't miss it here.
Unless I am looking at a motion to,
I don't see resolution in there, but,
settlement. Sorry, apologies.
yes,
Page 45, allocation of opioid settlement.
Got
There's
it.
an error there.
all right. Will the motion maker accept that as a friendly amendment?
Accepted.
Great. Thank you very much. Any other comments on the consent agenda? Seeing none, will Clerk Demas please call the roll?
Clerk Demas, yes. Treasurer DeShane?
Yes.
Trustee Lentz?
Yes.
Trustee Sunland?
Yes.
Trustee Trezise?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Supervisor Hendrickson?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you very much. Next on our agenda is item 10A, ordinance 2025-06, rooster regulation introduction. And we have Director of Community Planning and Development, Tim Schmidt.
So I have nothing further to add after our discussion in the last meeting. This has been discussed by the Planning Commission on multiple occasions and the Township Board at the August 7th meeting. Just to reiterate, this would change the current standards for where you can have a rooster in the township to limiting them to outside of the urban services boundary. So the more rural areas of the township as opposed to within the urban services boundary, which is where we got another complaint today about a rooster. So the timeliness of this ordinance could not be better. So at this time, we would recommend approval for introduction of the ordinance. We will then publish it and bring it back for final adoption at the next meeting.
Thank you very much. Board members, this is the second of three opportunities for us to review and discuss this. Yes, Trustee Sunland.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I think this came up many, many years ago. I probably was on the board when this came up the first time, and I think there was a gentleman that owned several roosters on Okemos Road or something like that. I don't think
There
they're
we go. Say
Goats.
goats.
Yes, those were goats.
Oh, they don't do
Little
roosters?
different.
Okay. I got confused between the goats and the roosters.
Yes.
Thank you.
Council
Board members, any discussion or motions be made on the introduction this evening? Trustee Wilson.
I move to adopt the resolution approving for introduction text amendment 2025-06 to amend the Code of Ordinances of the Charter Township of Meridian at section 86-368 to update the standards for the keeping of roosters in the township.
It's been moved by Trustee Wilson. Do we have a second?
Support.
Supported by Trustee Trezise. Further discussion?
I'll just say that in my travels, I have mentioned to a few people that we're dealing with roosters in Meridian Township, which gets a big laugh.
People don't believe me when I tell them that chickens are one of the top 3 topics I've dealt with as a planner.
Hot topic. So I'm glad that we are putting this one to bed next time, and thank you very much for bringing this to our attention. Where's the rooster that came up today?
In the area near the watershed.
Oh,
Interesting. Trustee Sunland.
Oh, I was just wondering, we're talking about roosters, but what about chickens?
So the chicken standards aren't changing. Chickens are still permitted. We have a pretty standard backyard chicken ordinance that allows someone to have up to 6 chickens, I believe, subject to a series of standards. In the majority of the residential districts, there are actually a couple of residential districts where they're not permitted for some reason. And we may address that at some point as we have gotten a couple of requests. But as a general rule, chickens are still permitted exactly the same way as they are now.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Lentz.
Yeah, thank you for the bringing this forward, Tim. I'm curious, from our discussion last time, I believe I had asked, and I believe Clerk Demas did as well, about the owner of these roosters. And I could not remember your answer, apologies, but they've been made aware that this is before the board and have nothing to report on communications with the township there.
We have not made contact with all this, obviously the one that I got today. We don't even know where it is yet. The other one that sort of prompted this, we have had a conversation with, and I believe the rooster is actually gone at this point because the complaints have stopped now, finally.
Gotcha.
But we will be following up if things change.
I appreciate that. I remember that kind of being up in the air, so good luck finding that second rooster, I guess.
Other discussion? Seeing none, will Clerk Deans please call the roll?
Treasurer Duchesne,
Yes.
Trustee Lentz.
Yes.
Trustee Sunland.
Yes.
Trustee Trezise.
Yes.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Supervisor Hendrickson.
Yes.
Clerk Demas, yes. Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you very much. Next up is item 11A, parking lot landscape ordinance update. Director Schmidt.
So this is part two of our promised three-part update to the parking lot ordinance. It's just too big to tackle at once, so we split it into three parts. This is the one that everyone likes, is the landscaping. And so functionally, we're not recreating the wheel here. We're trying to make this work better based on what we've seen as staff and the problems we've run into in the past. And so what we're doing here is we are splitting up how we do parking lot landscaping, right? Currently, it talks about interior landscaping, so it's within the boundaries of the parking lot, but what is the boundary of a parking lot, especially as you get into the corners? People want to argue that that is not within the boundary. And so what we're doing is we're making it perimeter versus inside, so both are covered now. Standards really functionally don't change. There shouldn't be that much of a practical difference other than we're now clear what qualifies in what place. Additionally, we are being explicit about a couple things. That one, it's outside of the normal setback, right? We're actually asking for some landscaping here. And we've added a requirement for screening shrubs in most cases. It also explains when it's triggered. It's not an automatic trigger. I know there are people in the community, professionals in the community that talk about our ordinances on occasion and say, oh, you're going to have to do this all of a sudden. That's not the case. It's really going to be triggered by a major redevelopment project, if it's an existing site, or it's a new project. And new projects always come in under the new ordinances. Secondly, the second big change is really getting towards what the actual ground cover is. We're trying to encourage a more natural approach here, native to Michigan, rain gardens, which we've started to see in more cases, but sort of really push them now. A xeriscape approach, which is a non-irrigation approach as a general rule. So xeriscape and native plantings generally go not necessarily hand in hand, but at least close to each other. And then sort of trying to limit mulch, and then, the hill I will die on is no rocks in parking lots. That's my personal planning pet peeve that I will fight until the end of time over. And then lastly, clarifying the perimeter landscape around the building. Over the years, there was times when that became a problem, so we're just explicitly laying it out now. Here, instead of all being one paragraph and trying to parse it, here are the standards, A, B, C, do it. So not a lot is actually functionally changing. There is some additional landscaping that you're gonna see on the parking lot side. Most of this is us making it work better and pushing forward, but also starting to get into some of those interesting, the xeriscape and the rain gardens and the native plantings, and start pushing that direction as we go forward. So I'd be happy to answer any questions, and just a reminder, like I said, this is the second part. The third part is the technical mumbo jumbo that no one really wants to talk about, but we're working on that now, and we'll bring that forward this winter. That's just the X square feet per parking space and X number of spaces along any given aisle and things like that, we run into problems, but the average person's not gonna know what they are.
Board members, any discussion at this time? Trustee Trezise.
I remember a few of planning commission meetings where landscaping was a key issue, and I appreciate your efforts to make it plainer and more understandable to our citizens, and also the inclusion of natural plantings and xeriscape is a welcome adjustment. So thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Lentz.
Thank you. Two questions. I know that in talking with various people involved in development projects, the cleaner the ordinance, the easier it is to build. With competing interests of wanting the township to have the identity that we believe in while also building as quickly as possible for those who want to be here, I'm curious if in the drafting of this document, any developers came forward and shared any thoughts and feelings with the planning commission about this, or if this is so standard that it was not worth the effort on their part.
Yeah, so we didn't get any feedback from the development community. We're not doing anything that's too out of the ordinary here, especially given that we're not explicitly requiring, despite what some people think, the rain gardens, the xeriscape. We're sort of pushing towards it. And I think ultimately part of that was also born out of the MUPUD discussion from 2022 of trying to get some of those things incorporated in the ordinance as well. And so this sort of dovetails into that. I think, really, one of the things that we've seen in the development community recently, especially on the commercial side, is most of the projects we're seeing are out-of-state developers, out-of-state builders, things like that, out-of-state engineers. So they're just not cued into something like this unless we were doing something dramatically out there.
Gotcha. I appreciate that. And my second question was related to, on page 132, it looks like line 13 related to mulch. Seemed to be the only instance where a specific number was listed without a minimum or maximum. It said 10% of a parking lot island shall be mulch planting. Is there a reason why that does not have a minimum or maximum? And that is a hard and firm 10% in the language there?
So generally that's getting to, trees are required in most of the islands. And so that would be the area around the tree being mulched so the tree can then grow and prosper. And so it's tied more to the tree than it is actually to the square footage. So 10% is just small enough amount that, like, if I have a little 60 square foot island, that's roughly, plant a tree, that's your perimeter.
So that would be, the idea would be trying to find a minimum then.
Yeah, that's really going towards not mulching the whole thing. It's trying to push you more towards the native plantings and the things like that.
I understand. Okay. Considering the level of teeth around this, I'm fine with that. I was just curious why that one did not include that language, so appreciate that.
Other discussion or questions? Well, this seems pretty straightforward, and similarly to the rooster ordinance, I appreciate the plain language nature of this. I think it's helpful to sort of condense and simplify for people who are looking to understand what we're going for out of this. I also appreciate learning a new word, which xeriscape was for me. So thank you for that. And I respectfully disagree about rocks and stones, but perhaps just for personal use. As someone who has a brown thumb and can't keep a plant alive, I appreciate that, but I understand the problematic nature that can have for parking lots and roads. So certainly, I think that's perfectly fine to require there. But I'll be supportive of this when it comes back before us. Board members, this is up for discussion. Is there any further discussion, or are we generally supportive of seeing this come back again next meeting? I see nodding heads. Everyone seems pretty happy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is item 12, comments from the public. Any members of the public wishing to make comments at this time? Seeing none, public comment is closed at 6:38 p.m. Next on our agenda is item 13, other matters and board member comments and the other matters this evening. Okay, we'll move on to item 14, closed session. We need a motion to enter closed session this evening. Trustee Wilson.
I make a motion to enter closed session under MCL 15.268 parens 1 parens H to consult with the township attorney regarding a confidential written legal opinion.
Okay, it's been moved by Trustee Wilson, supported by Trustee Trezise. Clerk Demas, will you please call the roll?
Trustee Lentz?
Yes.
Trustee Sumlin?
Yes.
Trustee Trezise?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Supervisor Hendrickson?
Yes.
Clerk Demas, yes. Treasurer DeShane?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just entered closed session. We will ask that the public please leave the room so that we may conduct our closed session.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That brings us to our next item, which is item 15, adjournment. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved by Treasurer DeShane. Do we have a second?
Support.
Supported by Trustee Lentz. All those in favor of adjournment, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We stand adjourned at 7:37 PM.